how CA is different from CPA and how CPA is different from CMA.
So they are basically the chartered accountants of India. But if you see CPA, they are basically the US chartered accountant. CMA, like in India, we have cost management accountant. US cost management accountants are known as US CMA.
What kind of resume they should make to get selected in any of the company?
See, ideally, if you want to build a good resume, you will have an introductory section, obviously, about your qualifications. You recognize yourself first, right? So you need to show your accomplishments and achievements as well in the resume. You have good working knowledge about Excel, SAP, Oracle, good product knowledge and all, and have a very vibrant profile on LinkedIn and all.
Can you tell more about your journey and how did you make it till here?
So first of all, thank you so much for inviting me. And yeah, so I'm a chartered accountant and a CPA. So I did my CA in 2011. And from then I kind of worked with Infosys, EY and Tech Mahindra and all these companies. Then I started Samandar Education in the year 2016. And it's been 7 years. So basically we have around 35,000 students registered with us. Wow. And we have been training the US Chartered Accountancy, US Cost Accountancy, US Tax, like courses like CPA, CMA, EA. So these are all skill-based courses and professional courses which are in the domain of accounting and finance. And not just we have been teaching them, but we have also been placing our students in different companies. So the basic aim and objective of Samandar is to pass and place the students. So I have been in this journey since almost 7 years, joined my wife, Poonam Jain. So she is also a chartered accountant, and my elder brother Kapil Kumar Jain. So we three are actually kind of poster boys for this institute.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So, Sripal, how did the idea of Samandar Education came to your mind and like how did you start?
So I started off when during my college days. So I used to teach a lot of bunkers. So we used to bunk the college and all, and I used to do night outs with them and tease them. So teaching was something which was very close to me, and that was one of my passion as well. And I thought that this passion should definitely convert into profession. So I started off building that passion as and when, say, after intermediate, I also was appointed as examiner for Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, correcting the CA papers at national level. And then I was in the corporate job. So I took out some time every day, like morning 2 hours, evening 2 hours. I've been teaching a lot of these students. And then lately I observed that if you see chartered accountancy as a course, the pass percentage of CA is around 3 to 4%. Sort of 100 people, 4 people pass and 96 people fail. So what is an alternative for them? So that's where I thought that why shouldn't I run certain courses which are good in demand, which are small in the duration and which can give jobs to our students. And that's how the idea came for trying out all the foreign courses. We saw that a lot of US based companies were kind of opening up their centers in India. And we felt that these courses would give them huge demand in their own job because the packages were also like 7 to 8 lakhs per annum. So they offer. So I felt that the awareness was not there on this. And second thing is, what if I feel CA, is there any alternative for me? So these courses offer an excellent platform for these guys and they can pass. And that's how I started off Samandar. So we started off during my courtship period. So like I said, Poonam was there in this journey and this is how we started off. And I was in the US. So I wanted to meet my brother in the US and we were very close. So he left for the US like when I was 18 or 19. I felt that what should I do something to go to the US? And so I thought CPA was a qualification like India mein jaise chartered accountant hai. So it's like US chartered accountants is basically CPA. So I felt that I should, I didn't have much awareness on that. But I knew that if you want to give the CPA exam, that time the exams used to be conducted in US. I thought that this could be a good option for us. That I can go to the US, meet my brother also and finish the course also. So idea was to kind of meet my brother and that's how I got my US visa. I went to the US, finished the qualification, came back again and actually spent some good amount of time. And when I was in the US, I realized that this is one of the terrific qualifications which we have. And that's how many firms were kind of setting up their operations, global delivery locations and all in India. And we saw a lot of hiring happening for these certifications. Okay. And that's how Samandar came into existence.
That's great, great. Sripal, you just mentioned that the CA passing rate is so much low in our country, right? Like people are afraid to fill their forms as a CA or get into chartered accountancy. So you came up with other professional courses. Like, is it like the same, I would say the same pace like as CA? or as you provide the courses like CMA, or is it like the same thing, or is CA the ultimate option, or these all comes under CA?
So if you see, chartered accountants is definitely one of the best qualifications in our country. So there's no doubt about it. So like I said, what if I fail? Right? So when you see CPA, CMA, EA, CIA, so these are like 6 months courses. So CPA has only 4 subjects. CA have almost 20 subjects. A chartered accountancy, if you want to become a chartered accountant, it takes 5 years. If you want to become a CPA, it takes only 7 to 8 months. So that's the beauty about these courses. And with the way Gen Z is, they want everything fast. So if you tell them to do a chartered accountancy course which consists of almost 5 years, I think that's quite a bit of task for them to do it.
Yeah.
So if you see these certifications, they are very specialized towards the corporate and towards the industry. So like CPA has 4, CIA has 3, Enroll Agent, like which is a popular US tax course, have only 3 parts. US CMA has 2 parts. But if you see the Indian accounting courses, they all run into different 4, 4, 5, 5 years. CA takes 5 years, CMA takes 3.5 years to 4 years. And then if you see other qualifications also, like company secretary also take 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So all these Indian courses takes a lot of period of time. You can set up your offices here in India. You can bring the work of US to India. So like what Infosys and today Infosys or Tech Mahindra or Wipro does. So we can also do the outsourcing. So you tell me how many CA firms are global today? Hardly anything. But if you see so many Deloitte, EY, KPMGs, PwCs are in India. So why can't we also kind of open up a global firm? Like what Mr. Narendra Modi said, that India should also have a global firm. So this courses actually provide them a platform to get the work from the US to India. So they can have their own firm as well, or they can also get a job here in India.
Okay, so these courses are equivalent to CA, I believe.
Yes, but CA definitely comes at above par, because if you see chartered accountancy, end of the day, lot of Indian companies are there in India. If you see US based courses and all, lot of US based companies are there, but they cannot match chartered accountancy kind of stuff. So for me, CA comes first, and that's the reason I've done both.
Okay.
Right? But given an option, because there are a lot of BCom guys and all, no one wants to do CA, not because it is not good or something, but because it's too long.
Yeah.
So that's why can't I do a CP, and then later I can do CA also if I want, because end of the day I want a job.
Okay.
So then they can keep doing that.
Yeah. So are there any salary differences between two courses?
No, I would say CPA gets the same package like chartered accountants get on an average salary as such. The maximum salary is like ICI highlights because of the campus placement. Sometimes it's very high. Other than that, I think the packages starts from 7.5 to 8 lakhs, which is fair to chartered accountants also. So it's the same package.
And what's the maximum can go?
Maximum for a CPA, CMA or NEA could go is around 1 to 1.5 CR.
Oh, that's great. Great. So
they can become a partner in Big Four. They can become executive directors and all those stuff.
okay, that's great. So we talked about like CA thing and the other professional courses equivalent to CA. Now, if any person after 12th or after BCom or BCom honors wants to get into that finance industry or accountancy industry, what's that one roadmap they can take?
See, if they want to go into finance and accounting, my immediate recommendation would be to go for these foreign courses like CPA, CMA, CIAE. CPA, the problem is they require graduation as mandatory. So they cannot go into CPA for sure because they need to complete graduation. So if you're asking me if I've just started graduation program, then I think Enroll Agent is a very good choice for them. So they can go into this and they can specialize in certain sector and get certain internships and all. After completing BCom, obviously they can go into CPA, CMA and all. Second option would be, other than that, I would say chartered accountancy obviously is a good course. So they are along with BCom, they can start doing CA parallelly. They might complete half CA and then do some other foreign courses and then later revisit at full C.
So what colleges they need to look after 12th or in BCom also?
So like which particular states would you want to?
You can tell about like Delhi NCR or more about Pan India.
If you see accounting, I would say colleges which provide accounting education, it's like in Bangalore you have Christ University, St. Joseph's University. In Delhi NCR, obviously SRCC is the biggest one, and Guru Gobind College also is a very famous one. You have lovely professional LPU is here. So there are a lot of these bigger universities. Symbiosis in Pune also offers good accounting thing, and then you have in Mumbai SP Jain. So these are all good colleges, I would say, for your BBAs and all. BCom is little orthodox, I would say. Currently with the generation I'm seeing it, not many of them are selecting BCom, but rather they're saying BBA. So they have some sort of business administration knowledge also, and then they have accounting knowledge also. So that's a better choice than selecting BCom as plain specialization, because these days BCom is like everyone's is doing that. So you would want to see something different. So you can go with these universities and all.
Okay, so are there any particular colleges or any universities or like any type of institutions that are promoting these foreign courses like CMA or CPA?
So if you see at Samandar Education, like our institute is, so we have collaborated with different universities in India. So we are working with Silver Oak University, we are working with All India Management Association. In Hyderabad, we are working with Badruka College. So there are different colleges where we are working. We are trying to integrate this curriculum in that university and colleges as well. So because today many universities do not have US accounting, US tax syllabus also.
Okay.
So this integration will help them to understand, and students will also have that they're just not doing BCom. Along with BCom, they're also doing something additional as well. So that could be a value driver. So we are already working with it. And if you see some of the universities like Manipal, right? Like I said again, SRCC, Lovely Professional University, they are also offering these integrated courses. So they can definitely go for those things than just a plain BCom is my view.
Okay, so you just mentioned as we talked about CA. So can you just bifurcate like how CA is different from CPA and how CPA is different from CMA?
So if you see, CA is like the Chartered Accountants of India, who actually audits the financial statements, who files your tax returns and all. Though normally we call CA is more for audit and tax, but it's not like that. So CA actually are beyond those. So they go into advisory, mergers and acquisitions, valuation field and all. So they are basically the Chartered Accountants of India. But if you see CPA, they are basically the US Chartered Accountants. CMA, like in India, we have cost management accountant. US cost management accountants are known as US CMA. The body which runs chartered accountancy is Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. For CPA, it is run by American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. So if you see in the member bodies, AICPA is the largest. So they have around 4 lakh, I would say 7,50,000 member body, and ICI is like 4,50,000. So in India, we have around 4,50,000, 5 lakh chartered accountants.
Okay.
So that's why CPA is the biggest qualification in the world today, especially at least with the member body association. Same goes in for CMA also, is very popular and all. Like I said, 2 paper, 3 paper, 4 paper exam. CPA is 4 paper, CMA is 2 papers, EA is 3 papers. So enroll agent is like you have the Indian tax return preparers. US tax return preparers are enroll agent, but they are not like today. Now, when you go for a tax return, you don't go for a TRPs. You might have hardly heard about them. You might have heard about chartered accountants, but in the US, enroll agents are also given huge respect. They can go to the tribunal and represent before the clients. मतलब मैं आपका केस भी fight कर सकता हूँ. So that is the power enroll agent has. So that is very different from what we have in India. In India, में उतना we don't give respect to TRPs and all. They're all third parties, and people don't trust them. Chartered accountants are more trusted sources. But in the US, it is different. EAs are also very respected.
Okay. Yeah, in India, we find chartered accountancy, CA people in a very respectful way. Like, oh, they are like the ones who gonna handle our money and everything related to that. Yeah, so we talked about the CA thing, CPA thing, CMA thing, right? So every company, I believe, either it's a startup or it's an MNC, needs a CA person or anybody who can look after their, accounts thing, maybe a company secretary or anything. And on the other hand, it's difficult to get into big fours when it comes to like CA or CS. So what kind of preparation you suggest to our audience who want to get into like big fours?
See, normally we have kind of made this like a big propaganda that you should only go into big fours. But I feel that I would like to slightly differentiate from you, Arshita, is that it's just not big fours, right? There are a lot of companies who are giving good work experience and exposure.
Yeah.
So like I say, Deloitte, EY, KPMG, PwC, these are the big top 4 audit firms in the world. But there are different other companies also, like Grant Thornton is there, RSM is there, BDO Rise is there. So like this, many US-based firms have also set up their operations here in India. So students should not think that, oh, okay, if I don't go into Deloitte, I'm nothing. It's not like that. Gone are those days. I think experience is more valued than the name of the company, to be honest, these days. So if they want to get into a company which can give them a good work-life balance, good compensation, obviously you need a lot of money. and apart from that, good exposure as well. So these are the three things which Generation Z wants today. These three things, if they want, they need to inculcate certain skill sets, what they look for. So they look for proper communication skills, how you articulate your things and all, basic storytelling skills, critical thinking, how to build their resumes and all. They can't have any stupid resume going there without any details and all. So it has to be a good written resume. And if they write in resume, I have worked as, so like in my case it happened. So I do mimicry also. So I've written mimicry of certain actors and all. So when I went to Infosys, they actually asked me, how do you, we want to see how do you mimic Raghu in Roadies, right? So sometimes companies see what you have written in the resume and they'll test you on that. Though that is the second thing that I did that.
Oh, you did.
Right. And I got selected on that question, not on the technical stuff. Right. So I'm just telling that it is not that whatever you have studied and all you will be getting on that. They actually see your all round thing. So in Big Four, they might also see you what are the current things which are happening. So are you aware of the crisis which have happened, or like Filali mein there was a Middle East tension which have happened of Iran and Israel, and they might tell you now explain. So you have studied all chartered accountants and suddenly you have seen a Big Four asking you a question, because that impacts your stock market, that impacts the company's profitability. They want to see whether are you updated with all these things or not. So updating yourself, upskilling yourself with storytelling, articulating, how you articulate, communicate, drafting a very strong resume, need not be 3-pager and all, only 1-pager resume is more than sufficient. And then presenting yourself very nicely. You cannot have a shirt here and just open up 2-3 things. It will not open up like that, right? So you need to be presenting yourself properly and all, and need to be dressed up very nicely when you're going for interviews.
Okay. So when we are talking about that CA thing, CPA thing, CMA, or even CS thing, so these are very respectful positions when it comes to a corporate thing. So what kind of resume they should make, to get selected in any of the company?
See, ideally, if you want to build a good resume, you will have an introductory section, obviously, about your qualifications, like you're a chartered accountant and all. Like in my case, I was also awarded 40 under 40 top accounting professional in the US.
Oh, wow.
So I can write like I awarded as I'm the only Indian who have been awarded as top 40 under 40. So it doesn't show that you're boosting about yourself, but it definitely shows that you yourself recognize. You recognize yourself first, right? So you need to show your accomplishments and achievements as well in the resume. So first start off with what are the things you have passed, say CA, CPA or CMA, whatever qualification, that would be your achievement section. Second, we'll talk about, because you're a fresher, you don't have any experience, so you'll only have the achievements and skills. So you can write like what all you have done in your articleship. In case if you have done an internship or an articleship, that would be shown as an experience. If you don't have one, I would suggest you to go for one, right? And then write that experience, like what all you have worked on those clients. Third section would be definitely on what are the skills and the hobbies which they have. So did they practice MS Excel if they have done, or Microsoft Office? They can put all those skills down, proficient in Excel. Don't write proficient and all, because then they'll ask you all the Excel formulas. So these are some of the things, a basic good proper resume is what you can prepare. You don't need to write 3, 4 pages. No one's interested. No one has time these days. So even if they have spent 15 to 20 seconds, that's it, they have seen you. And the most important thing is to have a very, very good profile on LinkedIn, because these days all the recruiters check you out on LinkedIn. So it's important that you have a very good profile on LinkedIn and you upload your resume also there. So it's just not about having a good resume, but also having a very good social media presence.
Okay. So these days, yes, social media is like going crazy and people are actually looking your social media before hiring you, be it LinkedIn or any other platform that you are building on. So what do you suggest to our audience? So what do you prefer, a startup or an MNC?
So I would suggest depend entirely on their skill set. If I would want to tell that at their young age, it's very important that they go into a startup. Because I feel that in a startup, you learn more. And you learn how to handle multiple things. You learn sacrifices. You see how people sacrifice a lot of things and all those stuff, right? So today we are doing a podcast on a Sunday, right? So we as a startup or an entrepreneurs, we kind of sacrifice all our personal time in doing this. So this is not something which we don't like. We love this because this is something which we this is the passion which drives us. So it's very important is to decide what is your passion first and then select. If your passion is just to be like, okay, I just need to work 9 to 5, 9 to 6. If you're a comfort zone person, then you would like to go into corporates. But if you're a regressive person, you really want to grow and you want to make an impact on the society and all, and this is something you want to learn more and enjoy more, I think startup is definitely that place. You just need to ensure that you'll have a lot of these off timings. You might have to work on Saturdays, Sundays as well, and all. So you need to take that with a pinch of salt. That this is something you should be ready for. Couple of years and all, then you can go for a bigger company. Bigger company, you learn processes, how the systems are designed, and all that is all okay. Actually, I feel that at younger age, it's very important how you handle 3-4 things at a time. That's a good skill to master, to be honest.
Okay. So, Sripal, how are you helping your students to crack the interviews?
See, like I discussed before, it's very important to have good skill set and good strong understanding of resume. And most important is the attitude what you carry in the interview. You cannot go to an interview and tell how much compensation I'll get, 10 lakh milega ya 8 lakh milega, and all those stupid questions. Need to talk less in interview always. Need to let the interviewer talk more. It's the reverse actually. You normally tend to interview the other person than you giving the interview. The more you talk, the lesser the chances of getting selected. So this is what I've noticed, because the more you talk, you get a lot of the mistakes get noticed. A lot of the things which you didn't wanted to talk also comes out of the excitement and joy, right? So unnecessary enthusiasm is not required. So it's very important that you stick to the resume what you have spoken. So whatever you have kept in the resume, you bring those points and articulate those points. Like for an example, you're a chartered accountant. You can tell that accounting is my passion. I wanted to go into accounting. So this is the reason I selected CA, and I want to start with an environment which gives me a good work exposure, and I'm a dedicated team player and all those stuff. So this is the attitude thing. So we focus more on attitude. We don't focus on unnecessary questions. So when we are mentoring our students, we let them know that you be prepared on what you have written on the resume.
Okay. So, Sripal, what's the culture of that accounts and finance industry? Because I am being in marketing industry, I know the culture of marketing and everything. But what's the culture that finance and accounting industry promotes?
One thing I would want to tell before to that, because you asked an interview question also, I just forgot to add this, right? Is we also teach Excel, and we also teach finance for non-finance. So basics accounting question, auditing question, and taxation question, because they ask a lot of basic questions in the interview, and they know that you don't focus on basics, you directly go under the top. So that is one of the things also we focus a lot. That program is known as finance for non-finance, FNF program, which Samandar gives. Typically, when before they go for interview, we tell them to mandatorily do that program. So a lot of the students have purchased that. Some of them who don't purchase it also, we do certain random sessions to make them ready for the interview.
So, like, what's the culture of finance and accounting industry promotes?
Culture is very third class, to be honest, and that is the reason why so many people in the US are leaving. Almost 4 lakh log chhod ke chale gaye ye profession last 2 saal se. So US is facing huge accounting shortage right now, and the reason is burnout. सब लोग 2-2 3-3 बजे तक काम करते रहते हैं accounting industry में. If this culture doesn't get changed, we might lose a lot of people in India also. So I want to be very honest when I'm giving an interview. I don't want to buzz around that, oh, this culture is awesome, you'll go to home by 6 o'clock. During my time when I was working with EY, I used to go 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock also in the night. So there are a lot of these things you need to be mindful on. You need to be very, very adamant that this is something you want to stick. Yes, you want to grow, you want to learn and all, but there has to be certain boundaries. You cannot have entire year you keep on slogging like a dog, right? 4 baje raat ke 2 baje tak kaam karo. So there has to be certain limits that have got crossed in the US, and that's where there is a lot of importance on maintaining a good culture and giving a good pay. आधे पैसे दे रहे हो और काम डबल करा रहे हो. So this is what is happening in accounting industry. So US ने वो खामियाजा भुगत लिया है अभी, and they're not getting people only now. So they're also not getting a lot of people who want to do accounting also. They're not going into that industry also. They want to go into AI, chat GPT, become content creators and all those stuff. So the trend is changing. So if they want to bring the trend back, what US is doing is giving them good pay now. How does the trend changes? Because technology is paying you more, people go there. Anything which pays more, people gets attracted to that. So now we are seeing that there will be a compensation increase going on. The talks are going on, internships going on, and work is also getting outsourced to India now. So India is becoming a big destination for all this work. So इतने US companies अब इंडिया में expand हो रहे. Why? Because they don't have the talent. We have the talent, but we need to ensure that our talent is not getting exploited also. So I feel that there is a regulator which is absent here as well. And because I want to kind of advocate this through your podcast to tell to these accounting firms that there has to be certain culture where people work, yes, during busy season they can go, but not like 12 to 13 to 14 hours, which was happening. So I think the firms are also getting mindful of that and ensuring that there is a work-life balance. And not to scare people with your question, yes, the culture is not what they would be looking for if they are planning to work in a big four.
Okay.
But if they are working in small firms and all, they will get that kind of advantage. But still, like I said, in the busy season, they'll need to be ready. Cannot be like I'll work 3 hours, 4 hours in a day. That culture is absent across all the industry, not just accounting and finance. So gone are those days, 4 hours you work and you go to your home. That will not happen in any company now. Because if you see even startups, they're all focused on profitability. Previously, they were focused on revenue and valuations were based on growth and revenue metrics. Now it is based on profitability. तो आप स्टार्टअप्स में भी जाओगे तो आपको वैसे ही काम करना पड़ेगा. तो काम से तो you can't मतलब shy away with, right? So you need to work and you need to work really hard. But what I'm trying to tell is, in this working hard, you need to also ensure that you take care of yourself and all, right? So the culture will be like this only, especially at least in next 10 years or so.
But why?
See, you don't have a rate cut from Fed, right? The US is not printing money what it was doing during COVID time. Free money was flowing, and there was, if you would have seen this buzzword in the US, actually great, that everyone were leaving in the US. No one was doing jobs and all. So there was a good buzzwords going on that एक साथ सब लोग छोड़ के जा रहे, mass resignation kind of words. And the reason was there was so free money. Now today you see that free money or that funding is coming to startups. No is the answer. You have seen what happened to Byju's. You have seen what happens to Unacademy. You have been seeing how startups are getting closed now. So not much free money is coming in, right? First thing is that. Second, there is not much growth also. In the US, there is not much growth. And whatever happens in the developed countries get replicated in developing countries also. So when you have no growth, then you need to focus on one important factor, which is cost. Then you do layoffs. You might have seen Facebook layoff, Google layoff. Everyone is laying off because there is no growth. If there is growth, why will someone lay off, right? During COVID time, they hired a lot of people, expected that a lot of work will come. And now that there is no growth, they are laying off all the people. And they are focusing on profitability because no free money printing is going on from the US. There is no money in the system currently. There's a liquidity crisis across. So this cycle will go at least for 5 to 6 years. And now even investors have become कि यार बहुत बेवकूफ बना लिया है startups ने हम लोगों को कुछ भी बोल के valuations. They've understood what is happening now. They're focusing only on profitability. So if your focus is on profitability, then the focus will be on efficiency of the employees. So productivity is being seen a lot. Now people are also not leaving. That is also a big problem. आप जैसे hire करते हो, लोग छोड़ते हैं तब आप hire करते हो, right? The attrition is also zero. Either people are not leaving, right? And second thing is you can't, and you have hired also. So you have overhired in that situation. So normally what you will do is you'll have to lay off certain people. This is exactly what is happening in Google, Amazon and all those stuff.
Right. So why there is so much, a backfire in the US and European countries when it comes to CA? Why they are not want to work in that particular domain?
See, why will India invite a chartered account, a CPA from the US to sign? Can they sign a Reliance balance sheet? No, right? No country would want another country's chartered accountant to come and attest their audited financial statements. At least in the US, it is allowed. In India, it is not. India, if it's a Reliance Industries, Mukesh Ambani ke balance sheet, US ka CPA cannot sign. So the reverse MOUs are not signed between both the countries because of the trade barriers. Lot of these things, conflicting issues. ICI tells that AICPA should come. AICPA tells no, ICI should come. ये एक दो ego के वजह से the MOUs don't go. So both the countries have their own qualifications. So that will not combine together, I feel, in the near future, at least for 20 years.
Okay.
Europe, we have integrated. We have signed up with ICAW, Institute of Chartered Accountant of England and Wales. So that has an MOU with ICI. So आप इंडिया के CA हो तो आप UK में काम कर सकते हो. Still UK prefers that आप ACCA भी साथ में करो. So we have started ACCA recently. So ACCA is also one qualification. So that is how you need to be aware of कि your CA is recognized in India. Globally, you cannot go to any country and immediately sign their sheets, right? You still need to have, you want to conquer a country's accounting work. So you need to conquer the skill of that country also. That skill of that country is CPA in case of US, enroll agent in case of US, or ACCA in case of UK, or ICAW. So you need to acquire the skill. So ICI tell no skill, we'll do some customized course and make you upskilled. It cannot work like that because that is their qualification which gives them the powers to sign.
Right. And as you just mentioned, I have seen a lot of CAs or maybe CS. They want to go to abroad and want to work there. And I believe that they don't know about this thing that the work culture there was just pathetic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now if you see that with the accounting shortages and all, Indians still would want to go for it, because end of the day they are getting 70-80 lakhs, so they really don't care, because they know the work culture in India में भी खराब है, तो at least मैं US में कर लूँ तो at least पैसे तो आएंगे, so you will get 80-70 lakhs. So we started something called as US STEM. So STEM is science, technology, engineering and mathematics. पहले का एक समय था जब सब इंजीनियर्स यूएस जाते थे, वहाँ पे 3 साल का they used to do 2 years masters, 3 साल का OPT रहता था, optional practical training visa, so they can work in the US for 3 years and they never used to come back. You might have seen a lot of them in your relatives who go to the US, they don't come back. अब ये सेम चीज अकाउंटिंग में भी हो रहा है, because there is a shortage of accountants also, so they have said that accounting also will be classified in STEM.
Okay.
So accounting will be considered as a technology subject only, because it has analytics component in that. So now if that gets classified, and it have already got classified last year, we have been sending a lot of students from Samandar to the US for masters in accounting and analytics with STEM. So they are also getting 3-year OPT and they can work in the US. And now many of them, one of my students, Surya Teja, I placed him in India first for internship. Then I placed him in EY for 9 lakhs package or something. He worked in EY for a year. Then he went to do masters from us in the US, and then again I placed him in the US at 65 lakhs, and he's a CA dropout. So you can just see that how we have placed this, and now he got recently an H1 visa also done.
Oh,
That's what it is.
okay. Great. Sripal, you just mentioned about that thing called AI and this chat GPT thing. Do you think that AI can replace finance and accounting industry?
No automation can replace any humans till that humans utilize their brain, right? If they don't utilize the brain, obviously machine can replace them, right? Even if you see, for an example, content creation or even video editing skills and all, you still have a lot of softwares and all, but video editors use that software to enable that. So technology is always an enabler. Technology cannot automate, it cannot do video editing and video shooting for you. Still there will be certain things which will soon come up that side also, but you still need a person to kind of work with the technology. So same goes in for accounting industry also. There are a lot of judgment related work where human mind is involved. So what opinion I need to give, what tax returns I should file, and the tax also keeps changing. So our industry keeps changing. Something which keeps changing cannot be automated. Because if you want to automate, you need certain data which doesn't change at all. You need historical data, right? But data keeps changing here. So how will you automate something which is changing? Tax proof, the career proof qualifications are enroll agent. So US tax will keep changing. So AI cannot kind of automate that. Accounting mein, yes, it can automate, but then you're getting a lot of information systems and controls, cyber security and all. You might have seen Kotak Mahindra Bank fraud. What have happened? Not fraud, I would say. It got closed, so RBI have banned them from getting more customers. The reason is they don't have a good technology infrastructure. They don't have proper IT controls, data security, data privacy. So the accountants are getting jobs now in these things. So now no longer CPAs are more into only audit or tax and all, like I said. That thinking has to change, that they can go into advisory also. So if this thing get automated, they'll get more 10 opportunities after AI.
Okay, so in next 20 years, we can't say that that AI can take over that accounting and finance
No,
industry.
I don't think so that it can automate everything. Yes, it can do a lot of entry level jobs, so will get automated. So that's why I was telling, if you're a BCom, you will be the first finished in this entire thing. Because if you're just a BCom today, in today's world where AI is doing a lot of your work, so this is a strong message I want to give to the BCom students. Please polish yourself and get an additional qualification for sure. Else there will be a day when we'll need to do watchman work also, right? So what I'm telling is, the way companies are looking forward for is they are implementing a lot of AI in entry level jobs. So they do not want all the unskilled people to come there. So it's very important that BCom students also, or BSc or any graduation, should take up one more additional skills along with them, and that is a professional certification.
Okay. And I have seen a lot of people after doing this professional course, they kind of set up their own kind of business, right? And some people move to this corporate thing. So, like, what would you suggest? Is it necessary for them to do a business, or they get into that corporate thing?
See, with Shark Tanks and all these things, right? So most of them think that entrepreneurship is very easy. It's definitely not. And people who want to kind of go into entrepreneurship also need some sort of experience, because you need to know how to scale your team, how to grow in an environment, how to do team building skills and all those stuff. Soft skills is also very important. So what I would suggest is work in a company for a couple of years, get that exposure, know how things work, how processes work, how you can bring the clients, because getting the client building skills, bringing the clients is a very difficult thing that you can get only when you work under someone. See, you cannot open a US CPA firm or a US accounting firm in India straight away. You need to learn under someone what he's doing and all, and then try to replicate that bit of work and then try to set up. So my advice would be, before you go for an entrepreneurship, do something under someone for a couple of years. It can be an internship or it can be a full-time thing.
So, what's the scope of global finance in the next 20 years or maybe 50 years if we talk about global finance and accounting for that matter?
50 years is too much of a time. I think I would say
20 years.
next 20 years, I would suggest that with India growing, I think the next 10 years at least belongs to India. And you have already seen, like I said, a lot of people are leaving accounting field in the US. So a lot of the work will get outsourced to India. So today India is more global than local. It's no longer a country which used to only do unskilled carpenter work, right? They are doing all skilled work. So we are not just IT people who are doing only data maintenance and all. We are also working on AI. You would see most of the AI things which will be executed will be from India only. It will not be from the West. Yes, West have coined that word of artificial intelligence. If you see the chat GPTs, the Google Bard and all these things, India will be the front runner in all these things. And they need a good, strong finance professionals also to manage this economy. Right, and there was a statement that we might need 1 lakh chartered accountants in the next 5 to 10 years. So that's a huge statement from an ICI president. So they see that India is going to $1 trillion economy, right? And with Narendra Modi's vision and all, and the way India has to grow now, and with the way a lot of work coming to India, we are seeing that is already happening. So I would say that next 10 years, focus on these global qualifications, because these global companies will set up in India only. So you need their knowledge and all. So what China did 10 years back, I think India would definitely become that. The only place where we lack is manufacturing, and that also is starting, and we are seeing Tesla coming up this year. So a lot of US based manufacturing companies are also setting up. And now with Donald Trump coming up, we don't know how much this would be encouraged, but still they are dependent on talent for India only.
Okay, we have actually seen a lot of CA people in our society, budding CA or maybe budding CS people in our society. If they can't, crack down that CA thing, there is a thing called humiliation or self doubt in their minds. If they can't able to crack that thing, how one can break this taboo and switch on to some other career option, which is again similar to CA, but yes, they can't just take this thing to their heart and.
See, I don't think so. The current generation takes it anywhere seriously, all this qualification, to be honest. If they fail, okay, ठीक है यार, दूसरा काम कर लेंगे. So they are a fun-going attitude people. Our generation or before that generation, oh, मैंने CA नहीं किया, what society will think about me, what will happen to me, मेरे को रिश्ता आएगा नहीं आएगा, मेरी लड़की के लिए रिश्ता आएगा नहीं आएगा, वो खुद ने चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी नहीं किया है. But today's generation is not like that. नहीं हुआ CA, 10 attend. I have seen a lot of content creators are half CA. They're not even full CA. And they're writing content on how to go into Boston Consulting Group and all, and they have huge followers. So people are not seeing you by qualification. People are rating you by your skills. Like I said, skills are very important along with qualification. It's a mandar, we teach both. Just a qualification, you can't grow. With just a skill also, you can't grow. At certain point of time only, you can grow. So now that you only have CA in your buzzwords, it is not like that. Today's generation is slightly aware that there are a lot of other things also they can do. Not just chartered accountancy. See, just because I'm teaching CPA, CMA, EA, I don't want to tell that these are the only things which a student can do, because there are a lot of other things also. Like we have content creation, we have video editing, we have digital marketing field. These are all growing fields for them. So CA is not the only thing, or it will be the only thing, and it have already gone also. There are a lot of people who are not even entering into chartered accountancy field, or not going into the accounting field also, right? So people want quick things. साल भर में हो जाए, 6 महीने में हो जाए. थोड़े लोगों को एक दिन में ही करोड़पति बनना है. So all these people's mindsets are coming now. So I don't think so that if society labels you if he's not a chartered accountant, I think the society itself is changing now. So those thoughts, those negative things and all will not stay long. But I think there will be a lot of mental health issues with respect to the competition. Everyone wants to become big now. So there is a middle age crisis. 19 साल के लड़के को ये डाउट हो रहा है यार मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ लाइफ में. Instead of enjoying, he's comparing it with a 22-year-old.
40-year-old man who is earning like 5 lakhs per month.
उनको ऐसा हो रहा है, तो उन लोगों में पैसे के लिए ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस है, एक्सपीरियंस के लिए नहीं है. in our generation it was कि यार if I work for 2-3 years, that experience will become very handy for me to take to next level.
Right.
But here they are not caring about experience. हाँ 12 घंटे काम करो तो पैसे दो ज़्यादा. So they are equating per hour basis kind of model, right? To certain extent that is right also. They have seen their father and mother slogging their ass out. So they think that सब लोग exploit करे, but every company is not like that. Right? In accounting, like I said, they are doing that, but you need to find your trade-off and your balancing things also, right? So वो एक generation में ये mindset आ गया है कि यार ज़्यादा काम कर रहा है तो ज़्यादा पैसे दो, and because of that they are getting stressed out also कि ये इतना कमा रहा है मैं नहीं कमा रहा हूँ. तो that is a stress, not the qualification stress and all. Now the society is like यार 20 साल में भी ये बंदे ने कुछ नहीं किया, वो बंदे का लड़का देखो यार 18 साल में became a millionaire, billionaire.
Right.
So now this is the biggest poison which is coming up, which needs to be immediately stopped through education.
Do you also think in this way, like people who do these type of professional courses like CA, CP or CMA, they should also promote themselves on social media and do content creation to promote themselves?
See, I feel not just CA, CPA, CMA, everyone has to be very shameless in marketing, right? I call that word as shameless because you just can't be shy. Oh, मैंने ऐसा कर दिया, एक वीडियो कर दिया तो क्या लोग सोचेंगे मेरे बारे में, right? So I don't think so that that mentality or that attitude will work, because today everyone wants to brand themselves. Why sharks have come to Shark Tank, to be honest? They want to brand themselves. So personal branding is more important these days for everyone. People associate with a brand, a person behind it, right? So who's the person behind it? That is more marketed these days. So if you want to become a good corporate leader tomorrow, if you want to grow in your own company, your social media presence will definitely play a huge factor. If you are having a good followers and all, companies will go mad about you. Oh, you know what I have, so I can post anything through him. So you see the biggest market is influencer marketing. अगर एक reel करवाना है मुझे तो 2 से 3 लाख का खर्चा है. So if you yourself become an influencer of your company, I mean the company would really love that. I mean, why would someone not have a person with such great followers?
So people these days should follow content creation.
110% yes. So content marketing is that platform which kind of gets easily among all the social media platforms. I think LinkedIn is the most easiest among all. Right? For females, it's quite easy, to be honest, to put a photo and then do it. But jokes apart, I think so putting a good content is very important, and highlighting those content and writing a lot about that content and experimenting with that. Video editing and all these skills still require some time, but content marketing is very easy. They just need to write some good content, and you will be growing like anything.
Okay, great. So yeah, content creation is the king and everyone should follow that. Yeah. So when we talk about these things, professional people, when they come to corporate, like what kind of appraisal they can expect and in what period also?
See, many of them come, they do 1 year and they expect that promotion should be given to them. You should never ask promotion. Actually, the manager will identify whether you are promoted or not, and how do I know that I'm getting promoted? The responsibilities I'm handling. Yesterday you are handling one responsibility, today you have been given 2 to 3 responsibilities. You should understand that something is cooking. They are trying to make you a leader. इधर ऐसा होता है ये आलसी लोगों के साथ, जो जेंजी के लोग कभी ऐसा हो जाते हैं, अरे यार ये ज्यादा काम कर रहा है, कम पैसे दे रहा है. Not like that, because sometimes they also try to inculcate the leadership qualities in you. So they are giving you one work and they are giving you additional work. They are trying to see you that to grow you as a leader, and if I want to grow you like a leader, I need to pay you also like that. Right? So they cannot expect immediate appraisals. It will take couple of years for you to grow in that. I mean, there are still exceptions. You can still work exceptionally well and stress out yourself and go for a promotion. I don't think so that's the right way to go. You can go sustainably, right, and perform well and look for a couple of years, see the growth. So normally the growth should be beyond inflation numbers. So inflation is 5%, 6%. At least the growth should be more than that percentage. So that will help you to kind of know that you're growing in this field.
Okay, so are there anything that people in this finance background or in accounting, they get much salary than the rest?
I don't think so actually. So all the industries pay well. It's just that finance and accounting are recession-free jobs. So this is something which people can't lose. Munshi ji to har jagah chahiye hi, right? So accounting and taxation is recession-free completely. So they do get paid well, and if you compare it with other techies and all, definitely technology have a valuation multiple to it, right? So if you create something new, you are paid more obviously, but how many of people are creating new? I mean, you have Infosys, TCS and all. Did anyone created WhatsApp or Instagram or a YouTube of its own? In India still there, and that's a huge technology talent which we possess. So हर कोई की बात नहीं है creativity and developing all those things. Having said that, finance is that profession, at least it's evergreen, that you would get a starting package of 10 lakhs and then slowly grow to 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and then take it to 1 CR to 2 CR.
That's the maximum that you mentioned a few minutes back.
Yeah.
The maximum one can.
So they can become a CFO and earn that much.
Okay. In a company, if they can
Yes.
placed as a CFO.
Yes.
So you're talking about that the startup thing, or
No. Obviously, I cannot make a CFO in a startup like just a 1 year experience, guys, right?
Yeah.
So at least 15 to 20 years of experience, they become a CFO and they get 1 to 2 CR.
That's great. I mean, that's huge.
Yes.
Any myths around this industry, any myths around accounting and finance industry you want to debunk through this podcast?
I think that they think accounting and finance is very boring. To be honest, it's very analytical.
Yeah.
It's very, very analytical. The way they read the things, finance professionals are really required now, because today you need business partnering skills, and business partnering skills can only come from finance. How do I grow my business when I don't know the numbers behind it? Right? How much is my return on investment? What is my return on equity? How much my revenues are growing? Why my expenses are increasing month on month, quarter on quarter? So nowadays startups require all these things. So analysis is very much important in finance. People think that, oh, chartered accountant, this guy is only fit for auditing or taxation or my filing returns. That's not the way. It have completely transcended that, all these things. So now the precedent is that they are really talented bunch of people who can really do. See in government also, Piyush Goyal is there, right? HDFC chairman is there, right? So there are so many people like that. I can give you tons of examples who are doing exceptionally well, not with the audit and accounting, but overall in the leadership also they are growing a lot.
Many people want to get into this professional courses when they were in this like 11th or 12th class. See, let's suppose if you talk about me, I was actually studying accountancy in 11th and 12th, and I found it very much boring. But yes, then at that time I want to become a CS, not a CA, but yes, CS. But I found it very boring. So how can one make that subject interesting?
By producing great quality of teachers. Because what happens in graduation is they're all very poor quality teachers who don't know themselves only why this thing is there. Today, if you ask any teacher in a BCom first year why closing stock is credited to trading account, he himself don't know. So there are a lot of bad quality teachers who are coming in the colleges, and that's why the profession goes for a toss. If you have, say, chartered accountants teaching in colleges, like I remember I started my teaching journey with Tapasya Academy. And there I went first day and there were 10 people. Second day in the college, first day I taught, and second day there were 70 to 75 people. Third day, 120 people with their parents also coming to that college and asking, who is this guy who have come for teaching?
Okay.
But I didn't do anything different. I just taught what was there in chartered accountancy to an inter first year. Like after 10th class students, I'm teaching them. They find it incredibly good because I was teaching conceptually. So as a teacher, it's very important that you teach conceptually and logically. Then mugging up, buy closing stock, to expense, to these, to salaries. You don't give them a perspective of balance. You know how many teachers have shown that Harshad Mehta scam to be explained, right? How many people have related a balance sheet explanation with demonetization? So there are a lot of these practical examples and case study. And that's the reason why Harvard is popular, right? Because it has all case study pattern oriented education. Same IIMs and all. It's all case study oriented pattern. So we should bring case study oriented education also in graduation as well. Then you will see the quality and the interest among the accounting audience would go substantially.
Yeah. So if you talk about my time, the concepts were missing. Real time concepts that one can relate, and they can teach us. So why is this thing called, why female ratio is less in this particular profession and men ratio is again higher?
That's not right, because the female ratio substantially increased. Right, and now I also got blessed with a baby girl, so I will increase that ratio more, to be honest. And I think females have contributed significantly to the development. And even in chartered accountancy, we have seen females have surpassed the males. Yes. So today females are also very smart. If I don't do professional qualification, they'll get me married. So for that reason, they're nicely getting CPA, CMA, and then they do time pass for 1-2 years, and that they just want to kind of ensure that they are tied up to certain things. The moment they'll be free, they know what parents will do. Right. So that is why the females' participation in professional courses have increased substantially. So they don't want to sit idle. So that has been a blessing in disguise. Since last 15 to 20 years, we are seeing female participation more in the professional courses than males.
Yeah, but earlier that wasn't the case.
Earlier that wasn't the case. Now today's female students, they want to kind of ensure that they are also skilled. With the generation again changing completely, the Gen Z, they just want to ensure that they are also ahead in the things and all. And there are a lot of examples, right? You have ICICI chairman previously, SBI chairman, and you have so many people as your even Indra Nooyi. So people are reading these leaders and following them. Today, social media, everyone reads what is happening, how leaders are becoming. That awareness was not there. अब इंस्टा पे रील्स होते हैं, लड़की क्यों नहीं करे, लड़का करे. So all this लड़की लड़का and all this content mass consumption, it have actually made some people enlightened, and that are parents. तो वो लोग सोचते हैं यार अपनी भी बेटी को पढ़ाना चाहिए 100%, and she also needs to grow in this growing field.
So when we talk about this industry, like how your resume should look like, what are the companies one should strive for, but there's this another question that there are also some companies that are not advertised much, right? So can you just tell like 4-5 names of that underrated companies of this particular domain that can give you a salary more than lakhs?
So I would say BDO Rise is definitely, and so the BDO Edge it have become. So after top four, this is a fifth largest accounting firm, and then you have Grant Thornton and RSM, and even for that matter Baker Tilly and Pyrion that have become the eighth largest accounting firm. These top 10 accounting firms, apart from the big fours like Deloitte, EY, KPMG, and PwC, these are the firms where you will see the growth. After that, क्या होता है ना, like you need to perform really well if you want to grow to next level actually, and they will not hire so many senior managers also. And in the industries, I would say Infosys, Capgemini, Cognizant, Accenture, even you have Walmart also now growing, SAP, Oracle. So these are good companies where you can grow to crores. Cisco. So these are very, very good companies. DXC, HP. So the list keeps going on and on. But at least in my mind, I think Cisco and Infosys and Wipros, these are good companies where they can make their career.
Okay. So you just mentioned that in Simanther Education, you placed your students to the top companies, right? So are there any advantage to your students because your connections are directly to the top big four companies?
Obviously, right? So today I work with a lot of big four partners. So there is not a single CFO who doesn't know about me in India. So just to not again boasting about myself, but that is a good connection things which we have kind of made. Right? Because I am a chartered accountant, my wife is a chartered accountant, my brother-in-law is a CA. So normally we have this CA thing, elections ka time aata hai, so we are the strongest one.
Okay.
Ideally, we kind of come with a lot of connection power and all. So thereby I have made some strong connections with the corporate leaders and all, like Amazon, Cognizant, Microsoft, Accenture, Genpact, all these companies. So obviously it's not about boosting myself, but rather I used all these connections to place my students in these companies because I felt that every education institute have a responsibility of passing and placing. Why Byju's is getting knocked off everywhere? Because they're not placing students. I feel that you should definitely place the students also. If not for full time, at least do your sincere efforts to even provide them internship. See, we can't guarantee anything. Like we also don't guarantee any placement. But is there an effort? Is there a sincere intention to help the students? Because I feel that if one student is placed, entire family gets settled. So that is where I used my connections to help these students to get jobs in these prestigious companies. And this is one of the reasons why corporate leaders like me. Because they think that I've come with an intent to help the student. Leaders are very smart to understand you're doing a commercial thing or you're doing it for marketing or you're really trying to help them. So in me, they have identified that my intention was to make an impact and to create a good society whereby people are proud. नहीं तो कल भरोसा उड़ जाएगा पूरे education institutes.
Yeah, right. You are doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Sripal, you yourself is as a celebrated CA, I would say. So there is this thing, not a thing, but there's this notion that people, every human being who is in corporate, I'm not talking about that the CA or CS or a CMA thing, that people due to time crunch they don't know how to invest their money. If somebody is earning, let's suppose 1 lakh rupees per month, they don't know how to invest, how to budget their income. So what should you advise them to how to budget their income or how to invest in the right particular thing?
See, if you have 1 lakh per month, obviously the first thing what you should do is to buy your term insurance policy. I think this is the most important thing, because you think that the biggest myth is, you talk about accounting and finance, but the biggest myth about life is we think that we will live here eternally, right? Which is not right. You need to accept that we will actually succumb and we will fall, right? And this is something people don't accept, and that's the reason they buy LIC more than term insurance. They think that in LIC they'll get a return. So there are in India so many people, and you have a lot of LIC agents, and they make them, अरे भाई आप 50 साल होने के बाद you will get this much money back. But intention of the insurance is not to make profits, it's to protect your losses and all those stuff. So my kind advice would be to never ever buy an LIC policy. You can buy LIC term insurance, but not any of the other products of LIC where insurance and return is combined, right? So that is first thing what you need to take is the term. Term might be 5 times or 6 times of your income, right? So what is your yearly salary? At least 6, ये तो minimum बोल रहा हूँ, तो I should say 10 times तो cover रहना ही चाहिए. तो 1 crore तक की तो term insurance की coverage रहनी चाहिए, which is also the minimal premium is 5,000, 4,000 rupees, and that also is tax deductible. So that is the first thing. Second thing is to have an emergency fund of 15 to 20,000 rupees set aside, right? Just that कल कुछ हो ना जाए, right? So you need to ensure that वो emergency fund भी आपके साथ रहे, या कुछ emergency में आ जाए कुछ ज़रूरत. Then the third would be definitely to invest in mutual funds, 20 to 25,000. And if you have kids, you can have children mutual funds also. Child का भी mutual fund है. Then the next thing is to have a gold ETF. So we try to purchase physical gold. Again मिसकंसेप्शन, फिजिकल गोल्ड रहेगा, फिर वो लोग बेचते नहीं है, अरे गोल्ड बेच दिया है, वो सिर्फ मुसीबत के टाइम पे बेचना रहता है. सो देयर इज अ कंसेप्शन कि गोल्ड खरीदो बट बेचो मत. देन व्हाट इज द यूज ऑफ दैट इन्वेस्टमेंट, बिकॉज एंड ऑफ द डे यू नीड टू बुक प्रॉफिट्स आल्सो. सो माय सजेशन वुड बी टू फर्स्ट हैव टर्म इंश्योरेंस, सेकंड हैव mutual funds exposure and all. Third is to have a gold ETF, invest there. So this can be in the percentages of 20, 30, 30, 30, right? So something like this should be a diversified portfolio. And as your age increases, your investment in the equity should go down, investment in mutual fund goes down, and bond and fixed deposit goes up, because that is a risk free. End of the day FDs का return तो आपको आता ही है हमेशा. So in a country like India, we have primarily invested only in fixed deposits or gold. We never invested in gold ETF. We have never invested in mutual funds much. अभी last 2-3 साल में influencers की वजह से लोग mutual fund, and that also they are confused. किधर डालना है पैसे. कोई एक इन्फ्लुएंसर का वीडियो देख के they'll put in some stock and they'll suffer, and then they'll tell no I'll wait for 2-3 years. They joined in that market for getting immediate return, but they become long term investors because they have losses, right? So you need to have a very balanced approach that this is something I need to do. 1 लाख में से 5,000 समझो इंश्योरेंस प्रीमियम में, 15 से 20,000 रुपए म्यूचुअल फंड में, 20,000 इमरजेंसी फंड में, और एक अनदर 5 to 10,000 गोल्ड में और फिक्स डिपॉजिट में एंड ऑल दो सब. और आपके समझो और एक 5-10 हज़ार का कोई एक छोटी प्रॉपर्टी भी आप ले सकते हो स्टार्टिंग में. बट व्हाट हैपेंस इवेंचुअली इज ये 1 लाख में से 80,000 goes to EMI, nothing comes in our hand, right? So this is exactly what happens when people have 1 lakh salary, they purchase home only directly. तो you can wait actually, कोई भाग नहीं रही है, सैलरी आपको छोड़ के नहीं जा रही है, आप रुक सकते हो. घर खरीदने की जल्दी क्या है, right? So asset can still wait. So that is something you should do.
Okay. Great. That's the best advice for all the corporate professionals who don't know how to budget their income, right? So you yourself CA, as we already know as of now, that is there a thing that friends and family come up to you for that free advice?
Oh, 110%. So we get a lot of these advisors and all, and to people who, it's a very excellent tip I'll give you. बहुत सारे लोग बोलते हैं सर हम लोग ने खुद का तो खोल दिया, रिलेटिव्स को फोकट का सर्विस देते रहते हैं, तो उनको कैसे रोके सर? दैट्स व्हाई यू शुड ऑलवेज हैव अ पर्सनल असिस्टेंट, राइट, और अ पर्सन अंडर यू. यू कैन टेल दैट आई एम करंटली बिजी, माय टीम विल टॉक टू यू शॉर्टली. वो टीम से आपको रेट बोलना पड़ता है कि भैया देखो ये प्राइसिंग है, ये एडवाइजरी फ्री नहीं होता है, सर ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं, वो आके बोलेंगे. See, I want to be practical again. How these things happen, right? You can't tell to your relative or to your big uncle or small uncle, you know what this he's talking to me like this, he'll charge his own uncle. So that's why you shouldn't talk at all. Any pricing related things should be discussed by your team, not by you, right? So this is the art of delegation. तो अगर delegation आपको समझना है, you know this is something you should do, and you're confident that this is how it should be done, right? And you also know ये करने के बाद हमको 10x पैसे आएंगे. Now what you should do is you should not do that thing. That is known as delegation.
Okay, great. So people, they matlab, if I talk about friends and family, they don't even care about if you have completed your CA or not. If you are in that ongoing process, then only they take suggestions from you. How can I do this? How can I do that? Yeah, so delegate at that moment.
Yeah, that's what. So that advices is fine. Other advices is like, see, for me, giving those advice is good because I will enroll them in our courses, right? So end of the day, I tell them CPA is best or CMA is best or EA is best. If they are failing in CA, not actually misguiding them when they're doing CA and they're passing, why to misguide them? Oh, CA is bad. Because end of the day, they are doing their sincere effort. So we have always been an institute who have never spoken against any of the professional qualifications. We have handled both of them together.
So Sripal, my last question from you would be, what's that one advice you want to give to anybody who is starting of this domain and who is actually looking up to for that professional course or making their career in finance and accounting?
Be very sincere in this field actually, and be a person full of integrity, because you might be Harvard and you might be a big professional, but still fall into all these habits, mental stress and all those stuff. You'll fail at your relationships and each and everything if you're not sincere and if you're not having that integrity and the speed of doing the things. It's very important that you close the things faster. If you make others follow up, that means you have failed in this domain straight away. Because in accounting and finance, the speed is very important. How quickly you close the things. अब थोड़े लोग होते हैं, हम उनको काम बोलते हैं, लोग 3 दिन तक काम नहीं करते, सताते ही रहते हैं, हाँ कर रहा हूँ मैं कर रहा हूँ, फिर बोलने के फिर भूल जाते हैं वो लोग. So this field cannot give excuses in these things. You need to be a pro and you need to be super active and have that attitude of closing the things, taking the responsibility on our own shoulders. Because this thing I've seen in Generation Z is like, generation doesn't take accountability actually, and they're shy of accountability. So the attention span is already going down. अभी मेरे को लोग बोल रहे हैं 1 minute का वीडियो बनाओ, explain consolidation in 1 minute, which is almost a 2.5 hour, 3.5 hour class. So this is the expectation of people. So you need to be really fast in this environment and give faster solutions. You cannot tell I'll email you after 24 hours, 48 hours. People are not interested. You need to be very fast, speed, accuracy, and at the end of the day, integrity and honesty.
Okay, that's great advice. So thank you so much, Sripal, for coming and giving your knowledge to our audience, and it was a very great session.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I had a great time interacting with you all, and it's always a good feeling to kind of share your thought process and all with the current youth, and you guys are doing a great job on Hype, so I can see that. And thank you so much for providing me an opportunity to interact with you all.
Thank you so much.